How's it going? My name is Sean Hunter. I'm the owner of Iron Lion Environmental Services. I'm also the owner of Hunter Estate LLC. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on where we're at with Hunter Estate LLC, or Land Equity. We have currently fully moved into our duplex. So our duplex is it's a owner-occupied 12-month FHA duplex. I said that all messed up. We purchased the property using an FHA loan, 3.5% down. The property is $175,000. I think, yeah, that's how much. $175,000. We are going to be renting out the bottom unit here for about $950 a month, and that's just looking at market rent. Now, I can charge more than that. But our goal is to just get it rented. We're going to be patient, of course. We don't want to rush in getting a tenant in there, because an eviction can cost you more than vacancy. So we got it at $950 for now, and then as we improve our systems, we're going to raise the rent for this top unit, not the bottom unit. We're going to keep the bottom unit at $950. But when I eventually move out and rent the top, we're going to try to hit maybe $1050. I'm going to try to see if I can get $1050 for the top unit. So we'll be cash flowing gross monthly income from this property about $2,000. And that's great. I mean, this is going to be the foundation of Hunter Estate LLC. This is where we're going to learn the operations behind this. I've been attending Jack's RIA meetings as well, meet lovely people. I love everyone there. They're actually, they're very nice people. They're very kind people. And they've been giving me a lot of tips, a lot of insider information, stuff that you wouldn't get on the internet. Like, this is type of you get first-hand experience. You know, a lot of, and even one of the investors there, he said, man, the gurus make it sound like they're just going to be a millionaire overnight, and that's not how it works. And this is a guy that owns multiple large apartment buildings and student housing, so he knows his stuff. And one thing he told me, he said, man, the gurus make it sound like it's overnight, but real estate is one of those you gradually scale over time, and that's kind of like what we're looking for, because I've always been a long-term thinker. So currently right now, we've done everything for the property in terms of improving its curbside look, curb appeal. We replaced the decal, did exterior paint. We've also pressure washed, and did the lawn care, cut down the trees and the bushes, moved some of the debris off the property, and really made the property look nice so we could take pictures. And we've also now officially listed our property. We listed the property on Facebook, Avail, which I have to actually call them. I have to call the customer service because I have been having trouble signing in, so I don't even know if I'm getting any prospects. What time is it? I didn't even have my watch on. 6:12. So yeah, I mean, so Avail.com, which Avail actually pushes them out towards, I have it right here. Avail pushes it out to a couple platforms, just like Zillow Rental Manager. Where are we at? Okay. Sorry, hold on just 1 second. I know it's around here somewhere. Okay, so Avail actually distributes it to Apartment Picks, Dwelly, Pad Mapper, Rentable, Realtor.com, Zumper, and a few others. I also have it on Zillow Rental Manager, which also hits Trulia, and then it puts it on Zillow, of course. And shout out to her. I've also listed it on affordablehousing.com, and that's for Section 8 people that have vouchers. Also visited the Jacksonville Housing Authority. So if you have rental property, one thing that you can do if you want to get into Section 8 housing, you can contact your local housing authority. And you can get signed up on their program, and they will help you out with getting qualified tenants with vouchers. Also, Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, I've been getting a lot of hits, but those hits are they're leads, but they're not really the greatest leads. But that's why you have your own screening process. I've screened dozens of people. Got several applications in, had to deny 3 of them. 2 out of the 3 I had to deny, but one of them I had to deny because of withdrawal. I guess, and I think that worked in my favor. It was a little sketchy, because why would you withdraw? I think he withdrew because of something on his part. I don't know, but I think I dodged a bullet there. The right tenant will come. One thing that the investors have told me is that you want to be patient. So being patient and finding a good tenant that's going to be here for the long haul, and just really, because honestly, I'm not a slumlord. Okay, you're going to get a really good property. You're getting a really good unit for $950 a month. So and here in Florida, you can get a really good job and stack your money here. So I think the unit should go to somebody who meets the criteria. Also, so I spoke with my lender. So we're already thinking about our next acquisition. Our lender is he let me know that because I've already done a deal with them, it's going to be easier for me to get another one through them, and they can help me out. He said that all I'm going to have to bring is the down payment. So they're going to try to see if we can get something called a DSCR loan, and the DSCR loan doesn't go based off your income. It goes based off the property's income. So the property's NOI, or net operating income. If the property generates enough monthly income to pay for the mortgage, then they will give you the loan as long as you have the down payment amount. And the down payment they require, he said that all you need is 15 to 20% down. And I have enough money to purchase my next property now. But what we're going to do is we're going to do because this is an FHA property, you have to be here for 12 months before you can move to your next property. Now I want to give you guys some game. So I've been giving you guys games. All of these logs are games. So but when you purchase a property, your interest rate, if you're going to be an investor, make sure you try to make that property your primary residence. And there's ways you can do that. If you want to do single family or multifamily, make sure your property is your primary residence instead of an investment property. Because when you do it as a primary residence, it lowers your interest rate. If you purchase it as an investment property with an investment loan, now you're going to get a higher interest rate. So he recommended that I make it my primary residence. So what we're going to do is same thing with this one. We're going to try to find a decent quadplex in the area, maybe anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000. That's what we're going to try to shoot for. Anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 property. Our goal is to save a large amount, hopefully 30,000 within the next year and a half, and put that towards our next acquisition. And I have no doubt I'll be able to do that. It's really just a time game, and then just making sure that this current property is managed to the best of its ability, because we want to make sure that we have systems, documents already preset, everything good to go, so that we don't have to have any flaws in our system. And when we spot a flaw, we fix it. We want the rental process to be as seamless as possible. So that's what we're planning on doing. So with this next property, it'll be a quadplex, preferably $300,000 to $500,000. I have some guys in my network that are going to help me find a good deal, so I have no problem with that. I've seen a couple, but they're more like syndication deals. We're still learning how to do syndication, because I want to get into syndication, either syndication or master lease options. That's how you get into control over large multifamily property, like big apartment complexes. That's how I see myself playing the game. Maybe not. At least when I'm 28 years old, that is the goal. At the age of 28, I want to have an apartment complex in my portfolio. How, when, and with who, how I'll do it, I don't know. I can't tell you that. But us as human beings and entrepreneurs, especially, we're made to adapt. So I will adapt to the situation in order to achieve the goal. Now, like I said, a quadplex, but this time we're gonna do an owner-occupied quadplex, and with that owner-occupied quadplex, we're just gonna do a DSCR loan, put 15 to 20% down, and call it a day. Or my lender also said that we can do something called a no-doc loan, where they don't look at the document, they don't care, you just need to be able to provide the down payment. So there we are. So we have two very strong options for our next acquisition. Like I said, I could purchase an acquisition now. Would it be the smartest thing? Fuck no. Plus I have to wait until, this 12-month FHA is finished. In the meantime, we're going to be scaling my other companies, which I plan on doing. I got about a couple hundred flyers that I'm going to do everyday direct mail on. It's the holidays, so I want to make sure I put that out there after the holidays. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and so I got Iron Lion Environmental Services. We're still trying to push out marketing. That's what that everyday direct mail is. And then hopefully by February of 2027, I want to have a location, an industrial location or some sort of location in a prime area for forklift training. I want to implement forklift training. I want to be able to give out forklift certifications and train you on how to ride a forklift, and eventually scale that company as well into high reach training, and different types of forklifts, different types of high reach, pallet jack, safety, environmental safety training. And I think that's going to tie in well with Iron Lion Environmental Services as a whole. Even doing equipment rentals, you're renting out forklifts, renting out what are they called? Not bulldozers, but skid steers, renting out skid steers, renting out mini excavators, renting out high reach scissor lifts, etc. Getting into that market, and I think that's going to tie very strongly with Iron Lion Environmental Services. And that's going to take a long time for Iron Lion, so I'm not worried about it, because I want to get into fluid handling and get into that whole waste management of oil, gasoline, and all that stuff. That's going to be something that's going to be in the long haul, because that's what my trade is in. But real estate is the wealth builder. Real estate is how you park your riches, how you park your money, your capital. You gain this cash flow, and then you park your money in an asset, and then you can get tax deductions. Like this property here, I'm going to try to see if I can get a depreciation on it. And you can, there's things that you can do once you start parking your money into assets, even like the S&P 500. I'm invested in the S&P 500. I have money in the S&P 500. Just park your money into assets and investments. That's really what you gotta start doing. Whether you do that with stocks, or whether you do that with real estate, put your money in something that's gonna generate long-term wealth for you and your family. So hopefully you guys learned something from that video. Like I said, I'm Sean Hunter. I'm the owner of Iron Line Environmental Services and Hunter Estates LLC, also known as Lamb Equity. Come back to the next vlog.